Hello, lacrosse friends, and welcome to Arena Lacrosse League action from the Children's Centre in Oshawa, Ontario. I am Stephen Stamp, pleased to be with you. We have the hometown Oshawa Outlaws wearing their white with the blue shoulder caps against the Toronto Monarchs in their mustard uniforms. And that is Heidecker pulling that ball out. Ben Heidecker wins the first draw all the way back to the keeper. Craig Wendy gets a hit to Tanner Buck, who leaves it on this side for Patrick Thompson, and the Monarchs go to the first offensive set. The goaltender for Oshawa is Jake Lazor. He's going to face his first chance, and that is a goal for Owen Ron. A lovely little two-man play. Nice pass inside, and Ron starts things off. A goal 27 seconds in for the Monarchs. Lots on the line tonight. Not as much for Toronto. They are locked into fifth place. They will play the fourth place Paris Riverwolves next week in the quarterfinals. Oshawa will be playing here next weekend in the quarterfinals. We just don't know who yet. Niall Sear picks that one up. A little pressure from Parker Pfeiffer up front. Nice job by Noah Millsap to run through that, and Oshawa comes up for their first offensive set. Got a too many men call on Oshawa. Better. So the Monarchs, with the 1-0 lead, will go to the power play again. Toronto will finish fifth. They're already locked in playing Paris, the fourth place team, next week. Oshawa, with a win tonight, would finish second. With a loss, they will finish third. Still waiting to see who are the sixth and seventh place teams. We know Whippy's first and Oswegan is eighth. They'll play next week here. There's a shot from Buck. Nice save by Lazor. And he's looking up the floor for an outlet. He'll tries to hit Alex Simons coming off the bench. It doesn't connect. It goes into the Monarchs bench. Peterborough lost today to Oswegan, so if Six Nations wins tomorrow in the final game of the season, that would be Sunday. If they win that game, they will move up to sixth. If not, they'll stay seventh, and Peterborough will be sixth. Oshawa, again, with a win tonight, comes second. With a loss, they come third behind Brampton. Chris Veltman, the captain. That's a nice pass through traffic to John St. John, the four-time reigning scoring champion. Passes across Simons with a shot, can't play the ball. Toronto comes away with it. Josh Gilroy with some pressure. Here come the Monarchs. Thompson up over the floor. Very interesting race for this year's scoring title. We'll get into that as we go, as Owen Ron leaves it there for Parker Pfeiffer, who is very much a part of that discussion. Buck at the top on the power play. So they go strong left. Down to the crease. Looking back to Buck. They're going to go through Pfeiffer. He's going to shoot. Scores. Parker Pfeiffer. His first of the game. Just drops the head of the stick. Rips one through the 5-hole of Jake Lazor. Power play goal is 2-0 for Toronto. So the situation. Devin Pfeiffer, who plays for the Whitby Steelhawks, played last night. Had 2 goals and an assist. That gave him a total of 16 goals, 67 assists, 83 points for the regular season. He is the scoring leader right now with 83 points. John St. John, Oshawa's number 7 and the 4-time reigning champion, has 79 points. He is 4 behind Devin Pfeiffer, and Parker Pfeiffer entered the game 5 points behind his brother Devin. So Pfeiffer already closing the gap. We're expecting to see somebody get them. St. John fights through a check. Took a bit of a stick to the face. This one's picked off by Thompson, who's gone to the races and scores just like that. It's 3-0 Monarchs. And you wondered with the Monarchs, without really anything specific to play for, how would they come out? Well, they are coming out on fire. 3 goals in 2 minutes and 26 seconds. Graham Bergsman is at the face-off dot for Ottawa, number 22. Plays for the Netherlands internationally, and he has taken the draws with Ryan Haig out of the lineup tonight. And Bergsman a little early, so Heidecker and the Monarchs will get possession, and it'll start in the stick of Patrick Thompson, who moves it immediately to Pfeiffer. We'll keep track of the scoring today. It is being live scored. You can go to the Arena Lacrosse League website. That's the 4th goal, and that's an assist for Pfeiffer. He continues to march up. Might not take him long to get there. 4-0. 2 minutes and 42 seconds in. What a start for the Monarchs. Not what the Outlaws were envisioning. Bobby DeBrone and his crew, the coaches for the Toronto Monarchs. DeBrone, the head coach. Assistants, Justin Wilson-Kirby, Nick Krepensek, and Ryan Kelly guiding this squad. For Oshawa, you've got Joe Hiltz, the man in the middle. He is the head coach. To his sides, he's got Justin Warner, Ryan McMichael, and Jason Lee, and Jay Lee are his assistants. Mason Kaminga pulls that one out as the Monarchs rotating through a series of face-off players. Here's Stephen Portelli. Portelli takes that return pass from Pfeiffer. Pulls it down. Owen Ron had to duck around him. They make the pass to the far side. Henry follows with a rip from downtown. That doesn't get through. Lazor will just hand that ball off. And Captain Chris Veltman gets it ahead to Bergsma. Bergsma will pivot and pass it off to Gareth Haig. Ryan Haig not playing tonight. A upper body injury, and they decided to wait, save him for next week. Want to make sure he's as healthy as possible for the playoffs. Gareth gives it up to St. John. St. John's shot down into the feet of Wendy. He stopped it. Chris Atwood couldn't pick it up. Behind the back, Josh Gilray. That one was blocked, and Portelli looks up the floor after picking up that rebound. Bounce pass ahead to Buck. Fake pass. Buck still got it. They realize it. Come up to Pfeiffer at the top. Watched closely by Aiden Saint. Big pick, or actually it's a big check. The Oshawa defender. Oh, and another goal. Parker Pfeiffer slides up into the slot and just bounces one between Lazor and the post. And I'm taking a peek over. Wait a second. That's not Jake Lazor starting. I've been misled. Jackson Brown has started for Oshawa. See Jake Lazor over there on the bench. Not reaching for his gear right now. It's Jackson Brown. A bit of a slow start for him. Oh, you know what? Never mind. I just missed the change. Thank you to the people sitting in front of me who were more attentive to the goaltending situation than I was. So Lazor did start, gave up the first few goals. Now Jackson Brown has come in. And Oshawa is going to try and get something rolling here, down 5-0, just over 4 minutes into this game. Comes up to St. John at the top. There's the cutter, Ilray behind the back. That one didn't get through. It was back out to St. John. The pass to Jake Gilmore. His shot almost looked like it surprised Wendy. Went wide. They get ahead to Ethier. Nathan Ethier hands it off. They'll just slow things down a little. And Campbell Parker, former Brock Badger, hands it off. Here's Pfeiffer trying to drive underneath. Ball's knocked loose. Nice defensive play there. It was Niall Sear knocking it loose. And the ball is whacked and rolls all the way back to Aiden Saint. Hands it off to Bergsman, and Oshawa makes their 8-second count. Just staying on the good side of center was Gareth Haig. He'll take this pass back from St. John and immediately gives it back to St. John. They're still completing their change. Atwood passes it down. Here's a drive to the middle. Simons with the shot. He tumbles. Not sure if he got hit or if he just got grabbed by the turf monster, but he pops up, and here comes Owen Ron back up the floor. Follows, keeps the ball moving. Riley Ford hands it off. Portelli's pass doesn't quite connect with Follows. Jeff McNulty going after it. Sorry, that's Chris Atwood, 77, with the red shoes. Veltman gets it, flings it ahead. Angus Rotting takes this pass along the boards. Gilray, little pick from Simons. The roll doesn't quite connect on the pass, and Wendy, looking up the floor, gets it ahead to D'Amico. Nicholas D'Amico will hand it off. Let the O get set. Portelli up for an O shift. He's played plenty of forward, so he's not a stranger to the front end. Tries a little diving dunk. Didn't really get very close to it, but Pfeiffer has a chance. Now we're going to have a crease violation on Pfeiffer, and Oshawa will come back the other way. Now a penalty. Portelli's going after Sear. After Sear got after Pfeiffer, Portelli and Pfeiffer, and Niall Sear is just like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just standing here. Portelli fired up. We'll see what the penalties assessed are.
You'd really suck as a UFC fighter.
So Portelli has his helmet off. Sear has his gloves off. And Portelli may be done. Yeah, he's heading to the dressing room. Sear goes to the penalty box. And we'll wait and see what the calls are. Okay. Okay, we are back underway. It's 4-on-4. Just having the announcement. There's a drive to the net and the goal by Haig. Gareth Haig gets Oshawa on the board in the 4-on-4 situation. There's a minor to Oshawa, a major to Portelli, and a game misconduct. So we'll be 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. Now a minute 52, as that took 8 seconds for Haig to get the Outlaws on the board. And then there'll be a 3-minute power play for Oshawa. Bergsman and Heidecker, who started off the game at the dot. Veltman and Pfeiffer fighting for it. Pfeiffer's going to get a tripping penalty. He took the legs out from under Jeff Geddes. So Pfeiffer's going to go to the box. And it's going to be a 4-on-3. Haig and St. John having a chat about what they're going to run. Over on the far side, you've got Gilray and Simons. Penalty killers. Thompson, Kaminga, and who's the near one? Diving attempt by Simons. That's going to be a penalty, and they're going to go after him because he ran into Craig Wendy, who's not looking very happy. Ethier's the third defender. Alex Simons ran into Wendy. Wendy is just lying prone on the floor, not looking very comfortable right now. We'll see whether it's a minor or major to Simons. I would think that's a minor, but you never know. Abbott is also in the box for Oshawa.
You think he did that on purpose, knowing that that's 100% on purpose?
That is a major for Alex Simons. So he's got 5 minutes. So that leaves us at 3-on-3 for a minute 32. Then Oshawa. So 3-on-3, tons of space. See how it all shakes out. Tanner Buck starts with it, gets it over to Henry Follows, sets a little pick. It's another pick. Veltman and Millsap running the two-man defense, doing a pretty good job. Owen Ron's on the far side trying to get open, being watched closely by Farthing. Crease violation. Oshawa is going to get it. We'll see what their three-man offense is like. It'll be St. John and Haig. No surprise there. And Gilray on the far side. Ron has stayed out. Got Thompson. Here's Gareth Haig pulling it down. One-hand shovel pass to St. John. Rips it, scores! John St. John with a blast from the top. And the 3-on-3 goal makes it 5-2. We've still got 55 seconds of 3-on-3. Interesting. Kaminga comes out for the draw for Toronto. And they've got one player, Nathan Ethier, back in the defensive zone and one up on the offensive end. Oshawa had two defensive players out. That's going to be Kaminga with a violation. And Bergsman will get possession, but we're going to take a quick officials timeout, and we'll be back with more Arena Lacrosse League action from Children's Arena here in Oshawa. Jeff McNulty will start with the ball for Oshawa. John St. John is out there. Passes across to the far side, cutting underneath, driving to the net and staying away from the goalie this time. That was Austin Blumbergs. Haven't seen a whole lot of him. The rotations have been strange. Kaminga scores on the run. Mason Kaminga took that rebound, ran the length of the floor, used his teammates as decoys, and just floated one to the far top corner. Another 3-on-3 goal, and it's 6-2. So we are 8 minutes and 7 seconds into the game. We've got 8 goals. Puts us on pace for about 58 tonight. I think we'll slow down. You never know. Nicholas Webb goes to get that one along the boards. He's harassed by D'Amico. Manages to pop it out into open space, and Bergsman will track it down. Here's Jake Gilmore. Another guy we haven't seen a whole lot of with just the special teams and the rotations, 3-on-3, 4-on-4. It's been a bit odd. Josh Guillory's waving over in the corner. 5 seconds till Oshawa goes to the power play for 18 seconds. But they've only got 10 on the shot clock. Oh, they are joined now by Chris Atwood coming out of the box, down to Gilroy. Oh, great fake. Had Wendy down, but pings it off the crossbar. Went through the crease before he picked the ball up, so that's going to be a turnover. 10 seconds until we're at 4-on-4. Parker Pfeiffer ready to go. And he will head to the bench. Thompson to the far boards. Big pick from Campbell Parker. That's going to be an over and back, though, as he was being hit as the pass was made. Jeff Geddes picks it up, hands it off to Atwood. Saw somebody behind him. It was his teammate. He's all good. We've got 2:15 of 4-on-4 to go. And then Toronto would actually go to the power play for 27 seconds, depending on what happens with further penalties. Wendy gets that one after the pass went awry. It's a little bit too far for Walker. Aaron Walker ran onto it, controlled the ball, and hands it off. Here's Parker Pfeiffer, one of those in the chase for the scoring title. An interesting subplot to tonight's game. Pfeiffer driving to the net. Nice D by Noah Millsap to drive him off his mark. Ball gets up out of play as Parker Pfeiffer couldn't get a shot on target, and Bergsman will start with it for Oshawa. Here comes Aiden Saint. Hands it off to St. John. St. John washed by Julian Gay. That pass doesn't quite connect with Jeff McNulty. Here comes Kaminga over center. He got the last goal for Toronto. He's just going to hand it off and head to the bench. Cody Menzies surveying, far side. Buck with the shot. That one's wide. It's going to come right back out to Menzies. Oh, it's away from him. It's going to be a breakaway for Nick Webb if he can pick it up. He can't. He just bobbles it a bit. So it's going to be over and back. Webb will hit Veltman coming off the bench and try and set something up. No transition chance. So they will go back to the set offense. Chris Atwood was the first one out there. He had the ball. He's just going to wait. Gilmore has it. Leaves for St. John. Blumbergs is circling on the far side. Atwood tries to open something up for him. Blumbergs from the outside misses. That one's going to be an over and back. Ben Heideker's racing after to get that ball. It's behind the net. He's going to have to go into the corner to start it. Away they go. Thompson with it. 40 seconds left on the Toronto penalty. As the major to Portelli, who was tossed from the game. Pfeiffer, Mark Farthing watching him. Hard rip from the outside by Campbell Parker. Pfeiffer retreats to get it. Fresh 30. No over and back, of course, after the shot went off the goalie. Pfeiffer with the give and go. Fires one, scores. Near post, Parker Pfeiffer. Got a 4-on-4 goal. That's 9 goals in the game so far in about, I think 3 or 4 of them have been either 3-on-3 or 4-on-4. Seven to 2, Toronto pulling ahead here. Joe Hiltz, the Oshawa head coach, was saying before the game he just wanted togetherness and wanted his team to work on pulling things back together. They've had a bit of a struggle. 2 losses coming into this game in a row. They'd won 3 in a row before that. They're sitting at 8-5 on the season. In second place, but just struggling the last couple of weeks. Toronto on a 2-game winning streak and have won 3 of their last 5. They're just trying to keep things rolling heading into the playoffs. So far, so good for them on that count. Buck gets some time and space, rips one, misses the net. I'm going to say a loose ball push. So it's going to be Toronto possession. So we got 12 seconds now of power play time for Toronto. Then we'll see Gilray released. Hard shot by Buck, gets away from him. Pfeiffer can't track it down. It's going to be an over and back. 2 seconds on the penalty. So Gilray is ready to join them. Niles here tried for the quick restart in close. You can't do that. So play is just blown down, and we'll restart with the ball in the stick of Gareth Haig. Valiant effort, but that was never going to work. St. John over to Simons. Leaves it to Gilray along the boards. Haig was looking past. Now he will get it over to St. John. McNulty comes up to center pick as they go far side. Simmons, hard shot off Wendy and up out of play. Craig Wendy has spent the last several years with the Georgia Swarm in the National Lacrosse League. Penalty coming now to Toronto. We are at even strength. We were for a little bit. It's going to be picked up by D'Amico. And we will go back to special teams. It's a slashing call. It's going to send Nolan Power to the box for 2 minutes or less. A 7-2 lead for Toronto. Oshawa, lots of time to come back. We got 47.5 minutes to play, but don't want to get into too big of a hole. Let's see what the Outlaws can do, going strong left. Kaminga, Ron, Thompson, and Ethier are the penalty killers for the Monarchs. Ethier races over to the boards, but Simons gets nice body position to allow him to pick up that Lucy. And he scores. The shot clock had been reset inadvertently, so the refs were counting it down. They were down to about 3 on the 32nd, and Alex Simons just blasts that one. 7-3 with 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. I'm Steven Stamp, bringing you this Arenalacrosseleague action on JVI Sports Network. And we are 5-on-5. That was a power play marker. Toronto has to send somebody else out. Brett Stoller comes onto the floor as the 5th guy. They race in. Heidecker going after that loose ball. Geddes grabs it. Turns and hits Blumberg's. Nice pass. Blumberg's on his offside. Looks like he's going to circle the net. He will. With Thompson in tight pursuit. There's Atwood. Looking far side. Flings that one up off the very tip top of the glass. Hits the angle and bounces up into the rafters. He'll be out of play, and Toronto gets it back. Minute and a half to go here in the first. Parker Pfeiffer gets a return pass. Had a little trouble handling it, but does come up with it. Gets it to Follows in the middle. His low shot is turned aside. Must have hit the board. I thought I heard it go off the goaltender, but I guess it hit the board and turns into an over and back. And Josh Gilray will start with, it was 1:18 to go at 7-3 for the Monarchs. Here's Gareth Haig. Comes into some space, but then it clogs up pretty quickly. Simons on the run. He is heating up with another goal. Oshawa closes the gap. .106 to play. It's 7-4. Kaminga comes out to face Bergsma. I don't think Bergsma came expecting to take the draws. I believe he borrowed a face-off twig from Ryan Haig, who's opening one of the doors for the Outlaws tonight, making sure he's healthy for next week in the playoffs. Again, Whitby and Oswegan, 1 and 8, are set. They'll be here at 5 o'clock at Children's Arena on March the 23rd. Owen Ron with it. Near side, just a little wide. He gets up out of play, and it'll be Oshawa ball. They've got Atwood ahead. They hit him with the pass. Nice catch. Good save, Craig Wendy. Atwood, so deadly. Such a skilled shooter, but you can see the lovely catch. Couldn't quite find his spot on the shot. Owen Ron trots up into the offensive zone, hands it over to Follows. Buck surveys. 22 on the game clock, 18 on the shot clock. Ford driving in, shoots with about 10 left. There are 12 seconds left, 10 on the shot clock. Niall Sear on the run. Shoots and scores. Sear drops the head of the stick. Lovely shot with 4.6 to go. Finds the far corner. You can hear it catch a bit of the toe cap of Craig Wendy, but makes it through. And all of a sudden it's 7-5. And that lead that had been pretty extensive is closing rapidly. With 12 goals as we are nearing the end of the first quarter. It's slowed the pace down. We're on track for 48 right now. It's been a high-scoring first quarter, and it will come to an end with Toronto leading 7-5. I'm Stephen Stamp. This is the Arena Lacrosse League on JVI Sports Network. We'll see you for the second quarter. Crossroads, we're ready to roll with quarter number 2. Oshawa Outlaws playing host to the Toronto Monarchs. Monarchs ahead 7-5. We're going to have a quick update to that scoring race. Again, Devin Pfeiffer entered the game with the lead with 83 points. His brother Parker was 5 behind. There's a shot and a goal by Parker Pfeiffer, who had 3 goals and 2 assists in the first quarter to tie for first in the scoring race. And that goal puts him ahead. He is now the leading scorer in the Arena Lacrosse League East Division. Of course, Tyler Kirkby setting a new record for assists in the Arena Lacrosse League West and all of the Arena Lacrosse League. John St. John, who started the game with 79 points, 4 behind Devin Pfeiffer, had 3, a goal and 2 assists in the first quarter. So he is now at 82. Parker Pfeiffer is at 84. So that is going to come down to the wire between those two. One of them will be the scoring champion. Nobody from Six Nations or Paris is close enough to really have a shot at that tomorrow. Somebody would have to have like 15 or 18 points, 20, something like that, to be able to catch them. So we are looking at the scoring champion crown tonight. Will it be St. John for the 5th year in a row, or Pfeiffer for the first time? Well, St. John missed the net there and a chance to get another one. He's going to stay out until the offense just settle down. Millsap will hand it off to Jake Gilmore. St. John along the boards. They've got 12 to shoot. Double screen going across to open up the righties. It's going to come to Gilray. Finds Simons behind the net. Haig pulls it down and runs out of time on the shot clock. Wendy looking up the floor. Toronto has a player in the change box, eager to get out there, but he had to wait as all the defenders were back in their own end. Pfeiffer pulls it down. That one's stopped by Jackson Brown. Again, replaced starter Jake Lazor in the net. Nice catch by Nicholas Webb. Webb will get it to Chris Atwood. Goes behind the net to McNulty. Simon's letting it fly. Saw something he liked early in the shot clock. So he tracks down into the Toronto zone by Jason Crawford. Thompson gets it across. Pfeiffer looking shot. That one's well wide. Gilray has it. He's looking to the bench, but it's going to be a bit. Geddes now gets there for the change, and St. John the first one off the bench as they are in the lefty quarter. Gilmore over to St. John, who loves to set up along the boards and circle out and look for passes. Atwood, hard rip. Wendy has it. Caught between the shoe and the stick. Here comes Ethier. Looking for bench transition. That's taken away nicely by Chris Veltman, watching the player coming onto the floor. Here's Pfeiffer, the scoring leader at the moment. Webb on him. Pick from Ron. Webb fights through it pretty well. That shot's wide, and that's going to be an over and back. It'll be Oshawa possession. It's going to roll right down to the crease of Craig Wendy. He'll just roll it to the corner. It's 8-5 with 2 minutes and 54 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Up to Simons. St. John takes it up high near the restraining line. There's a pass behind the back. Shot by Simons. Stopped by Wendy. Went straight back to Oshawa. St. John's going to settle things down. Oshawa had a defender ready to rock out onto the floor. He had to jump back into the bench. He was in the change box. Hard shot from Guillory, but right in the chest pad. Pops over to the boards. D'Amico the first one there, but he's chased down. And McNulty knocked it loose. He gets the pass. Will shoot a little sidearm sweep. St. John picks up the loose ball rebound. Bounces one. Another save by Wendy. Craig Wendy saying before the game he is loving just being back with some of these guys that he played with for years, being back in the Arena League and playing for the love of the game, just enjoying being on the floor and stopping shots and passing them up to his teammates. On the run, Campbell Parker finds an opening. Oshawa's defense just opens wide, and Toronto slams another one home. They go up 9-5, back by 4 is the lead. Heidecker back out for the draw for Toronto. He's actually against Tyler Grandel for the Outlaws. Heidecker up over center. A little pas de deux between a Buck coming off the bench, or Follows coming off the bench for Toronto and the referee, who was right in front of their door. Diving attempt. That one goes wide. It's picked up here. Oh, Millsap on the run. Couldn't quite accept that pass. Now it gets away from D'Amico and Millsap all over him. Stoller tries to grab it. He's chasing after, but it's actually going to bounce to Ethier, who will make his way forward. Hands it off to Ford. Riley Ford going to the net. Scores! Again, just a lane opening up for the Monarchs, and they are doubling up the Outlaws with their 10th goal to 5 for Oshawa. Bergsma and Kaminga back to the dot, and Bergsma do we know? I'm not sure if anyone knows what just happened. Is it a timeout for Oshawa? Okay, they're going to gather and talk about things, and we'll be right back when play resumes. All right, now we will have Bergsma and Kaminga ready to take the draw after that Oshawa timeout. Head coach Joe Hiltz had a chat with his crew. Bergsman tried to pull it forward to himself with the foot, but it bounces and ricochets all the way over to the corner. Big battle along the boards. And Bergsma and Kaminga, who had battled for the face-off, run into have a collision. I think Bergsman's getting a high sticking call out of that as he got up into the grill of Kaminga. He knows it. He's heading off to the box. It'll be 2 minutes or less for that call. It was right in front of us. Illegal cross check. And the Monarchs with a 10-5 lead will go strong left. Parker Pfeiffer takes the first pass from Buck. They go back to Buck. He's on his offside. Tries to go back door. It's tipped away by Farthing or Veltman. One of the Oshawa defenders got a stick on that. Got up out of the arena into the mesh. Pfeiffer now hard rip. That one stopped. Oh, it got through. Farthing picks it up and makes a nice little outlet pass to Niall Sear. He's already got a goal. Goes to the net. Oh, nice stop there by Wendy. Pretty good job by Noah Millsap to create a lane for Niall Sear. Sear part of the championship Nova Scotia Privateers last year over in Prague at the Radotin, the Lacrosse Club Custodes, the Alice Robeski tournament. What an exciting tournament that was, with Nova Scotia beating the home club, the Czech side, Lacrosse Club Custodes. Here's Alex Simons. He also plays internationally, represents Slovakia. He's been to the European Championships. Oh, what a shot! Slovakia will be hoping he can replicate that, as that's a beautiful bouncer. Short-handed goal, skipping off the turf and over the leg of Craig Wendy to make it 10-6. 54 to go still in the power play. Toronto remains on the power play. Nice job by Tyler Grandel to come away with that, and hits the pass to Jake Strocher. What a save, Wendy. Beautiful play off the draw with Grandel getting it ahead to Jake Strocher, who just leaked out. He was the only Oshawa player up in the offensive end there. And he got wide open. 30 left on the penalty. 12 now on the shot clock. There's a reset for whoever gets it after Ron's shot was stopped. Veltman came away with it, makes the one-hand pass to Webb. Nice job to make sure there was a lane there because he was throwing it across in front of his net. Got the pass to Webb, who clears it and is looking for a pass to somebody coming off the bench. Makes sure it's open. No risk there. And here's Blumbergs. Lobs it across St. John. Return to even strength. 8 on the shot clock for Oshawa as Atwood steps off the bench to take Bergsman's spot. That pass didn't get through. And Wendy will make the outlet. D'Amico leaves it there. Tanner Buck. You watch by Blumbergs. You can see Blumbergs watching to see who was coming. The pick did come. A lot of traffic. Oh, nice job getting onto the stick of the player who was down. Parker Pfeiffer was down. He is so lethal. Good job. That was Angus Rotting with that nice play. And we are going to have the officials' timeout midway through the second quarter. It is 10-6. Toronto over Oshawa. ALL action on JVI Sports Network. We're ready to roll here. Chris Atwood will start with the ball for Oshawa, as we are 5-on-5. Has not happened that often this game. We have a full offensive set. John St. John tried to get it back to Atwood. Nicely blocked, though. And the Monarchs are coming back the other way. Here's Thompson. Patrick Thompson having quite a game. Ether low shot stopped by Brown. He's looking for the outlet. Gets it ahead to Sear. Kind of handcuffs him, but he manages to corral it off the boards. He's going to shoot. That one gets up into the rafters. Did it touch a Monarch? No, it did not, and it will be Toronto possession. Pfeiffer, watched by Bergsma. Here's Henry follows. Buck trying to open some space for him. Now sliding into the middle. Sear staying with him. All kinds of attention from Farthing on Pfeiffer. Ball rolls into the corner after that shot, and the Monarchs get it back. Buck takes it from Ford. Ford's going to come set a pick. Farthing pops out on Buck. And pretty physical underneath. Bergsma works to stay with Pfeiffer. Twister, hard twister. What a play by Riley Ford. Catches the pass in some traffic and just gets it, the head twisted around, leaning over just enough to squeeze that one past Jackson Brown. Kyler Grandal heading out for Oshawa for this draw. Up against Heidecker. Heidecker gets to jump, but Grandal pulls it out, peels back into his own end. Nice job with the loose face-off win and the loose ball recovery. Pass doesn't quite connect with Millsap, but Grandal's got it and will lob it ahead to Jeff Geddes. Didn't hear the announcement on that goal. Wondering if Pfeiffer got another assist. Update again, he has 4 goals and 2 assists, which puts him in first place in the Arenalacrosseleague scoring race, Arenalacrosseleague East scoring race. Somehow that got through to Blumberg's, and somehow it stayed out after hitting the inside of Craig Wendy's foot. Hay tracks down that loose ball off the rebound. Yeah, Pfeiffer now with 84 points, 1 ahead of his brother, who finished his season last night when Whitby wrapped up, and that's going to be a rip for Blumbergs from the outside. Austin Blumbergs gets on the board. John St. John very much in the race. We'll see if he has an assist on this one. He had a goal and 2 assists so far, having started with 79 points. That gave him 82, just 1 behind Devin Pfeiffer. It was quite a race for the scoring championship. We'll keep track of that throughout the game for you. We'll make sure we get it updated at halftime with all the up-to-date stats. Kaminga and Bergsma battle. Snag there, making the pass ahead was Patrick Thompson. The ball gets loose, gets away from Toronto. Bergsma, the first one there. Nice job protecting it as Owen Ron was all over him. The low pass to Millsap. He was able to scoop up that short hop. Nice job by that defender. And then he gets it off to John St. John. Quickly up to Atwood. Penalty coming to Toronto. Jackson Brown makes his way to the bench. Immediately handed some water by Jake Lazor. Goalie union is strong. Hay trying to fight through the check from Kaminga. They've got 6 to shoot. Hay got it back. Backdoor attempt. Gilray was stopped and it bounces up and out of play. So the penalty will be adjudicated with 4:28 to go here in the first half. Toronto up 11-7. Oshawa going to the power play. They're going to go strong left with John St. John at the top. He's got McNulty at the shooter spot, and then Gareth Haig is down low. This is Simons getting it back from Josh Gilray. Patrick Thompson, who's doing everything for Toronto tonight, is at the top of their diamond. Oh, what a save by Wendy, but it goes straight back to Josh Gilray, and he just tucks it home for a power play marker, 17 seconds into that man advantage. And it's 11-8. Toronto had that great start, but is a battle back and forth. Oshawa just hasn't been able to close it much more than a few goals of a lead, though, so they need to get some in a row here to get this thing evened up. But 4:11 to go. The info you need is that it's 11-8. And you know what? That little joke probably went over the heads of a lot of people because, I don't know, does anyone even call 4-1-1 anymore? Probably not. Blumbergs comes away with it. Oshawa retains possession after their goal. Atwood to St. John in his usual spot. Blumbergs hands it off quickly and drives to the net. Can't quite connect with Gilmore. Wendy's got it. He sees a man streaking. Gay comes off the back end and Sear collides with him. Gay gets it back, tries the dunk. No good. It was so close, but it just came down and popped out. Atwood goes low to high. He can be tricky, but Wendy was with him. They're going to say, yeah, it was off of Wendy and up out of play, so it'll be Oshawa possession. Great pass by Sear to find Atwood and get it up to him. St. John to Haig. They're isolating the two-man side there, and Haig goes to the net. Stepped in the crease. Good call. I'm not sure if the ball went in, but no, it was in Wendy's jersey anyway, but Haig clearly landed on that crease line. There's Tanner Buck on the near side. Follows, circles around the top as Parker Pfeiffer pulls it down, makes the pass up to Ron, who's got some space. Veltman closes, but a nice job to create an opening for a shooting lane for himself by Ron. But Jackson Brown settling in a bit. Come ahead to Chris Veltman. Almost said Jim Veltman, as I tend to do at least once a program. It's Chris's dad. He is in the building. We're chatting with John St. John. Here's Paul, he's chatting with Paul St. John. That was John St. John shooting. Paul St. John is down at the end chatting with Jim Veltman, his good friend and co-founder of CELAX. That shot is wide by Buck on the give and go play. Nick Webb gets it. Well, lead Hay coming off the bench over to St. John. But yeah, it's been a while now. It's been a dozen years, I believe, since the formation of CELAX under the guidance of Veltman and St. John. There's a rip by Simons, stopped by Wendy. He's looking up at the floor. Has D'Amico. It's going to be a one-hopper. He'll have to track down, gets away from him. And Millsap, nice job running into position to just let Brown pick it up. Here comes Aiden Saint. Atwood slows things down to wait for his cohort on offense. Backdoor attempt. McNulty can't quite accept it. Hay grabs it with one hand. Going to go up top, and the hard rip from Gilmore scores. Boy, Jake Gilmore loaded that one up. Little crow hop. I'm not sure Wendy ever saw that bullet as it rocketed into the top corner. And this one's getting closer. Oshawa finally within 2. It's 11-9 with 1:28 to go in the half. Bergsman Kaminga once again. 22 and 88. 22 gets this one, swats it back. Strocher tried to grab it. It's actually going to wind up with Bergsman. Had to be careful because at that point he probably couldn't go back over center. St. John has it along the boards. Atwood comes over to Austin Blumberg, who immediately moves it on. Simons around the top, double screen, but good defensive job. And he's forced to hand it off to Atwood. McNulty was wide open coming down the lane, but just a reaching trail check may have made that ball bobble out of his stick. Here's Walker across center. Finds Pfeiffer off the bench. Rodding was running back, got a little swat in on Pfeiffer, who just absorbed it and heads into the offensive zone. Oh, what a great pass. It looked like he was going to Henry Follows, but he finds Riley Ford right in the slot. Feathers that pass through, and a quick release on the spin by Riley Ford. Bounces it past Jackson Brown. That's a beauty. Both the pass, the catch, and the shot. And it's a 3-goal lead. Once again, 12-9 with 41.5 to go in the half. Grandel against Kaminga, and Grandel has won just about every try he's taken until now as I start to talk about it. Toronto gets it, but I think Toronto took a timeout as Grandel was just grabbing on to the Toronto player, kind of hauling him to the floor, trying to get the ball loose. Welcome back, lacrosse friends. We've got 33.7 seconds left in the first half. We were just running some time down. Had to reset the clock and make sure they had it to the correct amount. It's 5-on-5. You hear the Oshawa bench getting really fired up as Toronto taking their time, down to 10 on the shot clock for them. Pfeiffer along the far boards. Pfeiffer's, I think that was a pass to Tanner Buck behind the net. And that's going to be the end of the 30 seconds. So Oshawa, already used their timeout this half, won't be able to use one. Got away from Niall Sear. He's just going to have to shoot. Wendy stops at the diving attempt to help him by his teammate to keep that ball from rolling in, as it was Parker Pfeiffer going after it. It is 12-9 for the Toronto Monarchs over the Oshawa Outlaws. Parker Pfeiffer has taken over the league lead in scoring, and John St. John with a goal and 3 assists is tied with Devin Pfeiffer, who entered this game with the lead. He is done, though. We have 2 men battling for the championship and 2 teams battling for this win. We'll be back with the second half of ALL action on JVI Sports Network. Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to Arenalacrosseleague action on JVI Sports Network here at Children's Arena in Oshawa. It's 12-9 for the Toronto Monarchs in the final weekend of play for this 2024 Arenalacrosseleague season. Owen Ron moves the ball on to Parker Pfeiffer, who has taken over the lead in scoring in the league. I believe he has 8 points on the evening, which would put him up by 3 ahead of his brother. John St. John just behind a couple of spots, a couple of points. That one's grabbed by Veltman after it got away from all the Monarchs, but Toronto already had somebody to get into the bench, so they had defender coming out. That was Parker Thompson. Terrific game for Thompson. Patrick Thompson, sorry. This is Gareth Haig with it. St. John comes to set a pick for him. Hard sidearm rip. That one's turned aside by the leg of Wendy. The forecheck pressure. Great job by Ethier to get out of it. Calmly find the pass ahead to Patrick Thompson. That's just a terrific play by Ethier. Drive to the net. There's a chance. Turned aside as Campbell Parker had a chance. Another one is going to come all the way out to Patrick Thompson at the top. It's a big pick, which actually kind of helped the defender, but now Millsap falls down. The ball pops loose. A little bit of stumbling all around there on that play. With 8 left, Toronto going to the net, and that's a crease violation for Riley Ford, and Oshawa is going to get a reset, and we'll just forget about that possession. That was a bit scrambly all over the place. Here's St. John taking it and giving it back to McNulty. Hard rip, and that gets through. Alex Simons just loads it up, blasts one. Lots of contact on the pads of Craig Wendy, but it finds its way into the net. And Oshawa continues to hang around. They creep back within 2. The score 12-10, just about 2 minutes here into the third quarter. I believe that's going to be another assist for John St. John, which would be his 4th, give him 5 points in the game. He would now be in 2nd place in the scoring race behind Parker Pfeiffer, who started the night in 3rd. So win by Kaminga. He's going on his own to the net. Shoots, stopped by Jackson Brown, who replaced Jake Lazor between the pipes for Oshawa. Chris Veltman bounces it ahead to Jake Gilmore. Yeah, St. John did get an assist on that one. So the scoring race continues to be tight. Oh, what a rip. Underhand shot there by Austin Blumbergs. And that's just a beauty. The sweeping blast from underhand scoots along the floor, sneaks past Wendy. It's 12-11. Oshawa gets the tightest they have been since the opening part of the game. Because we're just 2:27 into the third quarter. 33 goals so far. We're on pace for quite a high-scoring evening. Heidecker and Grandel. Heidecker for Toronto, Grandel for Oshawa. Heidecker pops that one out to himself. Grandel in hot pursuit. Blumbergs helps out as well. Blumbergs will go for a defender. Toronto gets their O out and will try to re-extend their lead. Owen Ron stopped by Jackson Brown, who's really settling in now. Well, for the time being. The goals have been coming plentifully. Here's Chris Atwood. Just handed off to St. John along the boards in his office. Lob across to Atwood. He was getting ready to shoot. Bounced away from him. He can't quite control it. Here's D'Amico. Oh my goodness, they just leave Eklund wide open. And Chase Eklund couldn't catch that pass, or he had a naked look. after both the Oshawa players followed one Toronto player and headed to the bench for a change, leaving Eklund all alone. Might have got a little overexcited seeing that chance. Parker Pfeiffer's shot is blocked. 6 to shoot. What a rip by Riley Ford. They're going to say no goal as one of his teammates was in the crease. Emphatic call by the official there. Jason Crawford climbing on top of Jake Gilmore as that ball bounced to him. Ball winds up back with the Monarchs. They lead 12-11. Thompson to Buck. Couple of picks for Buck. Pretty good job by Oshawa to fight through it. Ron tries the pass across the middle and doesn't connect. Sear with the long pass ahead. Jeff Geddes. Hard fake. Tries to hand it to St. John. St. John grabs it. Geddes is not going to stay in play. Thought he might stick around. But he gets to the bench with 16 on the shot clock. And Josh Gilray's at the top. St. John, the pick from Haig. The roll may or may not have been there. St. John didn't think it was. They get it to Blumberg's right on top of the crease. Now we've got a penalty coming, and Kaminga is riled up. He's going after Alex Simons. Simons, who had a major earlier for running into the goalie. I'm not sure Toronto has really gotten over that one. Simons looking significantly uncomfortable. Kaminga heads to the penalty box, and Alex Simons. Oh, it's a slashing call. Oshawa wanted a major for spearing. They're going to get a minor for slashing instead. And a chance to tie things up. So they trail by just one now with 10.5 to go here in the third quarter. St. John's at the top. Over to Blumberg's. Gets it back from Gilray. Perimeter passing for now. McNulty cuts through the middle. They go down low to Haig. Nice movement. Blumberg's hard shot misses. And never came down. Oh, there it is. Occasionally one just stays up in the rafters. We've got one that's just to the right of us that's caught between a couple of the metal, one of the metal V's where the beams connect. As soon as I saw it, I can't unsee it now. Keep checking it out to make sure it's still there. But that ball did come down. Toronto is going to kill as much time as they can with Buck sitting up high, watched by Mark Farthing, backed up by Nick Webb. There's the cut to the net now. They tried to hit Owen Ron, but Oshawa was ready for it. That one didn't get through, and the Outlaws will come back up onto the power play. Bergsman will leave it for Haig, who flips it up to St. John. Get ready to Blumberg's as they go with the same power play set. Skip pass, now up to St. John. Behind the back, nice pass. Oh, what a save by Wendy. Can he stop the second one? He does. Oh, and that's going to be... It's going to be a loose ball contact, and ball will go to the Monarchs, or stay with the Monarchs, and they'll move up into the offensive zone. And Thompson was just barely over center as he accepted that pass there from Cody Menzies. 15 on the shot clock, still 30 seconds at this point on the power play. Thompson just dropped it. Toronto's already got a defender back. So Millsap will just turn back, head to the bench, and hand it off to St. John. 17 on the power play. We'll see how they opt to run this. They go to Gilray. They've got a bit of time before they have to worry about the player breaking out of the box. Haig shoots low. That's going to get up and out of play and into the stands. Actually got into the netting and did a little ping pong back and forth between the netting and the glass on the outside. And a young fan is going to be pretty excited to get that ball. Gilray fighting through traffic. He steps in the crease and gets dumped to the floor by Nolan Power for his trouble. Wendy with the bouncer up to Thompson. Penalty's over. We're back to even strength. Henry follows with the top. Quick pass. Pfeiffer with the ball. So it happens so often. He is just the linchpin of this offense. Over to Buck. Gets it back. So he's thinking shot. Drives to the net. Low to high. A little underhand. That one's stopped by Jackson Brown. Pass gets away from Geddes for a moment. He recovers nicely, fights through the check from Ron, but it's an 8-second count, didn't quite get across. Here's Pfeiffer. Tried to wrong foot. Grandel does. Bounces from his offside. And Pfeiffer has another one. He is on fire. 13-11. Toronto pulls ahead. Heidecker and Grandel at the dot. Grandel tries to rip it out. The ball actually sits there in behind, left behind. Ethier comes away with it. Grandel on him. Ethier, who can operate in a phone booth, just absolutely terrific agility and lateral movement. Gets out of that situation and gets Toronto onto the offense. They're still getting their attackers out as they had 4 lefties, so somebody went back to let Pfeiffer get on and have a second righty on the floor. They're down to 2 seconds on the shot clock. Campbell Parker had to rush that one, didn't get it on net. 7:06 to go in the third. We are at 13-11 Toronto over Oshawa. We're going to take a break. I'm Stephen Stamp. This is the ALL on JVI Sports Network. Atwood starts with possession for Ottawa as we get back underway after the officials' timeout in the third quarter. Arenalacrosseleague at Children's Arena in Oshawa. That pass just got away from Haig. I think he was trying to pull it back and he just took off on him. And the Monarchs will take the ball. And Mason Kaminga will trot up over center. 13-11, the Monarchs lead. Pfeiffer with it. Farthing on him, gets underneath. Great trail check by Farthing. And Pfeiffer winds up in the crease as he just couldn't get the stick back. Mark Farthing, who was a real transition kind of guy early in his career, made the shift while he was in CLAX. Here's a chance. Blumberg's cross to Gilray, scores. Lovely passing play. We'll get back to the Farthing history later. That was just beautiful work by the Outlaws, and they pull back within a single goal. It's 13-12. Baker's dozen to a dozen, 6:25 to go here in the third. But I'm just saying, Farthing was a transition guy, loved to run, loved to get up the floor, playing for the Durham Turf Dogs, and then he really focused on becoming a defensive player and became very, very good at it. Went up to the Toronto Rock, had a great game. His opening game, unfortunately, blew out his knee in his first game with Toronto. Never did get back to the NLL. Now the head coach for Trent University. Still playing at a pretty high level on the defensive end, as you could see on that play against Pfeiffer. Buck comes to the near side to Ron. He drives in. Oh, that's a great move. He absolutely got Jackson Brown biting on that far side fake, brought it back near side, just into that top corner. And every time Oshawa looks like they might get back to even ground, Toronto has a response. It's 14-12. .6:05 to play here in the third. There's a chance for Jeff Geddes. He is 2-on-3, so he wisely pulls it out, heads to the bench for a change. Bergsma over to Atwood. Pass to St. John, up, coming across the restraining line. Pfeiffer has stayed up the floor for Toronto, so he's got a defender hanging in with him. That's Niall Sear watching him. Comes out to Atwood, 2 on the shot clock, so he just tries to get one on. It's blocked out front, and Toronto will take possession. Thompson quickly ahead to Pfeiffer. He looks to see who he's got coming with him. Drives to the net, shoots. Nicholas Webb on him. The save by Jackson Brown. It's an interesting little over-the-shoulder pass by Chris Veltman. Gets there to Aiden Saint, and Oshawa into the offensive zone. Here's Simons. Leaves it for Jake Gilmore. Gilray behind the back. Great pass. Gets it through. Alex Simons looked a little surprised to get the pass from Gilray, but it did get there. And a good shot, but Wendy with the stop. Ron, a little trouble getting a grip on that one, but he does and whips it over to Buck. This is Henry Follows. Buck cuts through. It's not there, so they come to Ron on the near side. He eludes the check from Rodding. The help from Farthing. Trail check. Oh, great drive to the net. Wait. Was that a goal or a crease call?
One guy calls it off. One guy says it's a goal.
I think there's a discussion amongst the officials. Thought we saw a crease violation called. Then we saw kind of a strolling goal call. And honestly, I don't know what the final decision is. They're going to center, so I think it's a goal.
One guy says no, one guy says yes.
You'll go with the lead official, I guess. In the NLL, that would be an automatic. That would be an automatic review, but of course we don't have review here in the Arenalacrosse League, so they're going to give an unsportsmanlike penalty to Oshawa, which seems a little mean, given that Oshawa has no idea what was going on that call. Grandel and Heidecker. It's 15-12 Toronto with 4:29 to go in the third quarter. Heidecker pulls it back. The only guy back there is Patrick Thompson. He gets it. And Grandel, who's been really getting into it with on every shift he gets to play. He's out for the penalty kill here. Owen Ron went through the middle and got a cross-check from every player out there on the Oshawa line. Penalty kill. Hard rip. That one stopped by Brown. Gets up into the mesh. Comes back to Pfeiffer for the restart. Toronto continues with their power play. Pfeiffer directing traffic. Ron to Buck as their strong left. Buck's up at the top. Gets the pick. Goes to the net. Shoots. Save. Grabs the ball out of the crease. Tries to get the pass through. It doesn't quite connect. Riley Ford's mad at himself. Niall Sear is on the run, trying to get to the net. Tried to swim through the forwards coming back to play defense, but lost the ball, and it's turned over. Might have been a bit of a force, but I mean, he was surrounded by mustard-colored shirts. Have to try and go somewhere. The official's trying to convince the shot clock operator to get a reset. I think we do have a fairly new operator. St. John all alone on Wendy off the crossbar. What a blast. Now, if he caught that, he had another chance. Wendy will come out and chop down on it. St. John comes away with it. It gets popped loose, but he'll get it back. I recently did a story on John St. John becoming the first player in ALL history to score 500 points. You can check that on ilindoor.com and go to YouTube and check out Stamplak's breakdown. There's St. John. And that is one of the easier of his 500 points as he was lingering up on top of the crease. Wow. And now the Toronto bench and the timekeeper getting into it. And so St. John has scored a goal. That was indicated. Toronto players are yelling at the scorekeeper, the clock operator in the box. And it not entirely setting up for a face-off. The goal from St. John has gone up on the board. Toronto was arguing the shot clock had expired. It wasn't reset on the board, or it was reset, but the officials had the count on the floor, and it looks like the John St. John shorthanded goal will count. It's 15-13, huge for him, as that gives him 2 goals and 5 assists and puts him right in the thick of with Pfeiffer, who has 9 points tonight, 7 for St. John. Puts Pfeiffer 1 ahead of St. John. This one's coming down to the wire. Buck, the pass behind that diving attempt by Pfeiffer. He winds up in the crease, checks with Jackson Brown to make sure all is well. Oshawa 5 left to kill, and they get the pass ahead to Alex Simons. He has been doing some sniping tonight as we go back to 5-on-5 lacrosse. Chris Atwood slipping in late. Toronto sees him. There's the cut by St. John. Shot, nice save, Wendy. Throws the glove out, flashing the leather, makes that stop. It's 15-13 for Toronto. We've got 2:12 to go here in the third quarter. There's a lot going on. Atwood from the outside misses that one. Gilmore, nice one-hand grab in traffic. Passes to the back door, just gets away from Gilray. I'm going to say he got up and out of play, hitting the high boards above what's in play. And Toronto, D'Amico will come over center, and they're going to just try and settle things down a bit. Pfeiffer with it. Trying to drive underneath. That one's taken away. There's a big pick. Jake Stroesher is looking decidedly uncomfortable. Diving dunk attempt by Pfeiffer. That's well off the mark. Now we got some pushing and shoving out front.
Did you see that? Bert just throws both of them. Fuck out of here.
St. John will take it. 1:30 to go in the third quarter. It's 15-13. It's a bit chaotic. The crowd's into it. The coaches are into it. There's Haig. He's into it. The save by Craig Wendy, who's staying focused. McNulty got the rebound. They get it over to Simons. Backdoor attempt. Can't quite connect with Haig. He's going after, but Stoller's on him. Haig does come up with it. Nice blind behind the back, over the shoulder flip to St. John. Passes to Simons, who shoots. That one's stopped. Did it get through? It did not get through to Wendy. So they're down to 5 on the shot clock. Blumberg shoots. Wendy with the save. That one was stopped. And now we're going to have a crease violation. And that one, I think, got into the net, but it was after someone had stepped in the crease. We got 45 to go in the third quarter. It's 15-13. Then we'll get a little break to catch our breath, and we'll check all the math. We'll see how everything stands. Pfeiffer moved it across to the far side. Buck has it. He's circling over the top. Over to Pfeiffer. Veltman watching him. Buck, hard, low shot, but is swallowed up by Jackson Brown. I just noticed he's got the purple Panther City gloves on, as he was in camp with them. But that pass doesn't connect, and Oshawa can't clear the zone. Chris Veltman has it. 15 to go in the quarter. Brown has made the run to the bench. 6 attackers coming out for Oshawa. They've got 8 seconds. Gilray gets it. Down to 3 seconds. Shot at the buzzer from Atwood, stopped by Wendy. And we go to the third quarter break of a chaotic Arenalacrosseleague game on JVI Sports Network. It's 15-13. Toronto Monarchs over the Oshawa Outlaws. Make sure you come back. You're not going to want to miss seeing how this winds up. 15 more minutes or so in this game. It is 15-13 for the Toronto Monarchs. Quick update. Parker Pfeiffer, 5 goals, 4 assists for 9 points. John St. John, 2 goals, 5 assists for 7 points. That puts them neck and neck for the scoring championship. St. John's won the last 4. He's trailing by 1 right now. Pfeiffer over to Buck. Back to Pfeiffer. Hard rip stopped by Jackson Brown. Ball's loose behind the Oshawa net. 3 Outlaws going after it. Henry Follows is in there digging, still hanging on to the ball. What an effort by Henry Follows to come away with that loose ball. My goodness, that was a great play. Gives it to Buck, gets it back. We've all caught our breath. Follows has caught his breath, and we are ready to roll. Penalty coming to Oshawa away from the play. Hard rip from the outside. That one stopped. It's going to be an over and back, and the play will be laid down. It's a cross check.
Just diving everywhere.
Jeff Geddes is going to go to the box for 2 or less, giving Toronto a power play opportunity. So, with 9 points tonight, that gives Parker Pfeiffer 87 on the season. And his 7 points gives John St. John 86. So it's a 1 point difference in the scoring race. Here is Toronto on the power play. And Pfeiffer has the ball behind the net, behind the back. Flip to Buck, up to Ford. They go back to Pfeiffer. That pass doesn't connect. Nick Webb almost had it. Now a chance to race out and get after it. And Millsap will. It's going to be an over and back. So Noah Millsap doesn't have to race after it, but he will start with it and drop it over to Paul St. John. John St. John along the far boards. So they go to the penalty kill. 1.5 minutes left on the penalty. Tanner Buck has stayed up the floor, so he's being watched by Mark Farthing, and it's a 3-on-4. Patrick Thompson had it, got checked. That almost went into the bench as the door was open on the Oshawa bench. They had some players coming to change. Forward to Buck, and Buck's just saying, slow it down. Let's set up the power play. Buck gets it back. Playing catch there on the far side with Owen Ron. Ron back up to Buck. Pfeiffer to Ron. It's pretty good ball movement by the Monarchs. Not really leading to anything yet. They've got 15 to shoot. Ron goes behind the net to Pfeiffer. Hits, follows out front. That's some beautiful movement. Great job. A lovely pass by Pfeiffer, and follows. Probably due for one after all the work he's been putting in and a couple of chances. It is 16-13 with the power play marker. Toronto pulls ahead. 12:42 to go here.
That one was deliberate, though, because he stopped after he got hit. So he never changed. The other guy already came out.
Heidecker out to take the draw for Toronto. Graham Bergsma stretching a bit before he crouches down for Oshawa. Bergsma pulls it out. First guy there was Gay, but it gets away from him, and it's Haig will come away with the ball. Heidecker watching him. Kuminga trailing. Haig pulls it down, spins. Nice moves to get in some open space as Oshawa just making their changes. And kind of a slow change for Oshawa as they made sure they were had their proper number of players out. Atwood, 10 on the shot clock. Gets a pick from Gilray. Atwood's over on his offside, looking for someone to pass to. Goes up to St. John. St. John's just going to pass it behind the net. Diving attempt. Stopped anyway, but Haig may have been after the 30. I don't know, but Wendy wasn't taking any chances. He flashes the leather again to make another stop. Here's Buck. Buck finds Ron. Farthing on him. He switches up. Strocher takes him. One-hand shovel pass doesn't connect, but it does roll out to Buck. He's jittering and juddering back and forth. His shot is blocked. Shot clock's going to expire as Buck is banged into the boards by Millsap, and Oshawa will get possession. They trail by 3 with 11:30 to go. Again, Oshawa with a win tonight would stay in second place and play the 7th place team in the playoffs next weekend when they host at 1 p.m. That'd be March 23rd. A loss would drop them to 3rd behind Brampton. They play the number 16. We don't know who those teams will be yet because Six Nations can move past Peterborough if they can win tomorrow when they play Paris. What a trail check. Simons gets the ball ahead to Sear, and then a penalty coming as Stoller. Not a particularly sharp play behind the play. Pops the helmet off of Alex Simons. And he's smiling like he can't believe it, but that's a fairly obvious infraction.
It's a headshot.
Discussion amongst the officials. It's going to be an elbowing call. So 2 minutes or less for Oshawa on the power play. They trail by 3 with 10:54 to go here in the 4th. St. John will start with it. Their strong left, McNulty and Haig over. McNulty shooter, Haig low. Atwood this time instead of Simons on the shooter spot. Simons had his helmet popped off. He's probably going to make sure his head's still connected. And Gilray just walks in. Everyone just kind of leaves him alone, and he gets a shot right on top of the crease. Now there's a glove goes flying. There's just gear everywhere. And Ethier makes the setup with one glove on as he passes across to Patrick Thompson. Thompson, who's been excellent tonight, bangs that one home. Short-handed marker for the Monarchs. They extend their lead to 17-13. 4.5 into this 4th quarter. Ethier completely unruffled. He is just a grinder out there. Constantly making good plays. Kuminga Bergsma. Sounds like one name, doesn't it? Those are 2 people, Mason Kuminga, Graham Bergsma. St. John waiting for his cohort to arrive. They're still on the power play for another minute 20. Simons is out there at that shooter spot again for the righty side. Gilray takes behind the net. St. John crosses over, and that pass doesn't connect. It's going to be an over and back. Toronto racing after it. Oh, and one official's going to say that it touched a Toronto player. So it's not an over and back. They're going to have a discussion. Yeah, Oshawa is definitely indicating they think it was a touch. Means it wouldn't be over and back. There'd still only be 7 seconds on the shot clock, but Oshawa would be able to set up in the offensive zone. The discussion continues. They're going to have a face-off. The two officials can't come to a consensus. So we'll just go with the draw. Pretend none of the last bit happened. 1:10 to go in the power play for Oshawa. Trails by 4. Kaminga wins that to himself. Whips it across to Walker. Oh, Walker. That was a pretty spicy little pass, but Kaminga managed to get it and pass it back to him. Parker Pfeiffer heading into the zone. Comes back, jumps up onto the boards to get a change out there, and Jackson Brown comes away with the ball. Chris Veltman almost checked there by Henry Follows, who's just hustling all over the floor in this second half in particular. St. John takes it. Still lots of time on the power play. 30 seconds. They've got 16 to shoot. St. John to Simons. This is Gilray on the crease. Again, they're just kind of leaving him. Looks like he's the poison they're picking. That pass doesn't get through, but fighting for it is Haig. It's the Monarchs with a 2-on-1. Thompson, I thought was going to get in the way. Ethier comes in, shoots. He set up Thompson for a goal last time. This time with both gloves, he is stopped by Jackson Brown. Here comes Nick Webb. Things opening up for him. Penalty's expiring. That could be a breakaway, but it comes to Simon as Stoller comes out onto the floor. Not sure he's the most dangerous offensive threat anyway. Yeah, no goals, 3 assists for him this year. This is a little more dangerous. Kaminga's already got one tonight. He's going to pass it to Pfeiffer off the bench. He is probably the most dangerous as he is the league's leading scorer and adds another one to it there. A goal in bench transition, taking the pass from Kaminga, and Toronto just keeps piling on to this total that they've got with 8:35 to go in the fourth. This is, again, the final weekend of the Arenalacrosseleague regular season. Playoffs go next week. First place Whitby will be here at Children's Arena in Oshawa at 5 p.m. next Saturday against the 8th place Oswego Bears. It's looking very much like Oshawa will be here at 1 o'clock next week. It's looking more and more like they will wind up in 3rd place, but there's a penalty coming there to Toronto, and that's going to be another one. Jason Crawford is arguing that was a shoulder-to-shoulder hit, but the point was Veltman didn't have the ball, and he just took a lot of steps to run over and drill him. That's going to be 2 penalties to Crawford. Beholding an illegal body check. Jason Crawford, many of you may remember his overtime goal to win the Creators Cup when he was playing for the Barrie Blizzard in Sealax. What a thrilling game that was. I had the fortune to be there, being part of the team calling that. What a game it was against the Oswego Demons, I believe. Here's St. John at the top on the power play. Diamond formation for the Monarchs, as they often start in, with Patrick Thompson up at the top, watching St. John. Simons ducks underneath, goes back door. It's going to be an illegal pick on Josh Gilray. Oshawa, this is a glorious chance. Oh, what a pass! Run is stopped by Jackson Brown. This is a lovely pass from Patrick Thompson. Here comes Haig down to St. John. Quick stick. He's stopped. Goes straight to McNulty. Fresh 30. He's just going to hand it to St. John, and they'll set up the power play.
Why has nobody just ripped his face off?
Simons up top. St. John behind the back. Nice pass. McNulty rips it. Save Wendy. Gay on the run. St. John back to cover him defensively. Still a minute 5 in the first of the double minor to Jason Crawford. The hold and then the illegal body check. Pfeiffer, hard rip across the width of the floor to Buck. And with 3 on the shot clock, they're going to go and get 3 defenders out, and Buck will stay up for a little bit of forecheck pressure and then go off for a 4th. Get the penalty killers all set to roll. St. John steps across center after his defensive shift. Little hidden ball trick. They're all pointing at St. John's. We'll hand it off to Atwood. Strong right setup this time for Oshawa. McNulty sets a little screen. St. John gets the pass back to Atwood. Atwood's hard shot scores from his offside. That is vintage Chris Atwood. Dead overhand. Maybe a little twister action to sneak that one through. And he scores with 22 seconds left on the first of the double minor to Crawford, which means Oshawa will pull within 4 at 18-14, and they'll remain on the power play for another 2 minutes or less.
Uppercut.
Goal hasn't gone up on the board yet, but it is 18-14. Hopefully it will soon, so we can keep track of everything. There we go. Oshawa on to their second back-to-back power play. Simons backpedaling. Over to Atwood as Oshawa goes strong right again. Gilray working his way down to the crease, and St. John will get it to the lefty shooter spot. That's about where Atwood scored that last goal from. Now he's backpedaling, dragging, drawing away. What a rip by St. John from the outside, but Wendy throws up the right hand. He's been making a lot of sleeves with the left glove. That one was the righty, the stick hand. Atwood gets it back, fresh 30. Backdoor quick stick, Gilray. Lovely passing, lovely finish, and it is back-to-back goals for Oshawa to pull within 18-15. Power play goal after power play goal. 6:08 to play. We're going to have one more officials stoppage at the next non-goal stop of play. And then it's going to be down the stretch drive in this exciting, if odd, Arenalacrosseleague game here at Children's Arena. I'm Steven Stamp. Pleased to be bringing you this on JVI Sports Network. Battle ensues. Millsap trying to get it. He will come away with a Campbell Parker on top of him, but Millsap shrugs off the checks and gets it to Bergsma. Oshawa will go back to the power play. They've got a pair of goals on the power play to creep back within 3, and they've got a little under 6 minutes to try to keep closing the gap. See if they can get second place. There's a save by Wendy, that right hand again. It went straight to McNulty off the rebound. Atwood on his offside again. That one missed. Gets up out of play. And we are going to have the officials timeout, and they are pretty clear that they want to get this little break, go get everything sorted out. Have a quick break. It's 18-15, 5:36 to play. We'll continue with the ALL on JVI Sports Network right after this. Toronto Monarchs with possession. Parker Pfeiffer sets a little pick. He has 12 points on the night so far to take the lead in the Arenalacrosseleague scoring race. Here's Niles here trying to break out. Gets through a check from Ford. He's got St. John ahead of him. Saved by Wendy. Sear tries to check the Monarch on top of the crease on the rebound. Got it knocked loose, but it went straight to Wendy. And here comes Riley Ford the other way. Ford shot scores. Sneaks at 5-hole on Jackson Brown, throwing the foot out to try and make the save. It pinged off the shoe and into the net. It's 19-15 for Toronto. 5:06 to play. So a quick update, 12 points on 7 goals, 5 assists. What a night for Parker Pfeiffer to give him 85 points. Sorry, 90 points. 90 points for Parker Pfeiffer. And John St. John has 8 tonight on 2 goals and 6 assists. That gives him 87. So Pfeiffer right now with a 3-point lead in the scoring race as we've got 4:45 to go. That pass from Pfeiffer doesn't connect. The follow-up almost got through, but Jackson Brown made the stop. Long outlet pass. Nick Webb accepts it. Ducks nicely through a couple of defenders. And we'll wait out near center till he can hand it off to Gilray in the offense. St. John rolls out of the corner. Across the top to Blumbergs. He ducks underneath. Thompson with the recovery check. It looked like he was beaten, but he did get the little cross check on the side of the arm. That one gets up and out of play, and it will be Oshawa possession. Saying it's off of Toronto, so the Outlaws will get it. St. John starts in the corner. Gilray right over the formation. Blumberg took that pass from St. John, but Wendy made the stop. Pfeiffer, first man off the bench. So it's a righty quarter for Toronto, going right to left to right here for them. Pfeiffer taking his time. They've got a 4-goal lead. They don't need to push it. 11 left to shoot. Pfeiffer tracks that one down in the corner. Takes a big hit from Millsap. Holds on to the ball. He's pinned. Oh, Millsap looking very uncomfortable. It's a goal from behind the net by Owen Ron, and Millsap really looks shaken up over in the corner. His helmet is up on his head. Back on his head, that is. The chin guard was on his forehead or his nose. It's going to make it 20-15. It's like Pfeiffer having some words with some of the Outlaws. Millsap will head down the hallway. Not sure where he's tending to his helmet or himself. .329 to go. It's 20-15, and this is looking very much like a Toronto Monarchs win that would drop Oshawa into third, make them play the 6th place team. Again, if Six Nations wins tomorrow, they get 6th. If they lose, the Peterborough Timbermen will stay in 6th. So even at the end of the night, Oshawa will not know their fate. Jackson Brown has gone to the bench for the extra attacker. They're just getting the extra man out now with 15 on the shot clock. Atwood rips one, save. Oh, what a putback. Jeff McNulty, goal of the night, goes into the air, in midair, catches the rebound. One fluid motion, gets the shot off and tucks that one home. The game may not go Oshawa's way, but that was a thing of beauty from Jeff McNulty to pull them within 4, 20-16, 2:55 to play. It's not over. Oshawa getting their personnel sorted out for this face-off. Nice job by Veltman to just tap that ball away from the scrum at mid-floor and then track it down. Clock is running, though, as he has to go and chase it down. Veltman will drop it off for Gilmore. Brown is at the bench. Extra attacker coming on. It's Josh Gilray is the 6th guy. He'll slide down the middle and set a screen for Simons. Foot save by Wendy. That one bounces into the Oshawa bench. It was off of Wendy's foot, so it should be Oshawa ball. It is. Timeout for the Outlaws. 2:24 to go. It's 20-16. Oshawa has the goalie on the bench, an extra attacker. We'll see what happens when we come back on JVI Sports Network presentation of the Arenalacrosseleague.
That's why you're professional.
We're ready to roll. Coming down the home stretch, 2:24 to go. Toronto 20, Oshawa 16. Outlaws with the ball and 6 attackers. And they have Jackson Brown well back. He's in the hallway. They're not even looking at putting him back in. They have just got runners ready to go. Is that a Toronto timeout? Well, we got like 11 seconds in. We'll take another break and be right back on JVI Sports Network coverage of the ALL. Toronto has to get a player off the floor. Nope. They're just, I don't know. There's a lot happening up the floor. Oshawa's got 6 attackers. Patrick Thompson flings it ahead. What a catch. Under duress from Campbell Parker. Farthing all over him, and Parker gets the pass. Pfeiffer pings it off the post, going for the empty net, and 3 Outlaws are all over him. They don't want him scoring anymore. But he's not going to get an assist because that shot was blocked as Kuminga tried to take a shot. Veltman just swats it ahead under duress, and it goes straight to Gay. Gay will get it back to Kuminga, and Toronto has a fresh 30, and there's no goalie. Jeff Geddes is back, being the pseudo goalie. Now he'll come out and put some pressure on Thompson because Thompson's not going anywhere until they come up and make him. Pfeiffer dips underneath. Oh, that's a huge hit. That's got to be a penalty. Oh, blindside check, and now everyone's getting involved here. Wow, what a collision. Thompson and Webb pushing and shoving. Aiden Saint is up. He's all right, but holy cow, what a blindside hit. And Kuminga is on his way to the penalty box. We'll see what that call is. Yeah, he's coming back out. I think they're sending Kuminga to the dressing room. Nope, they're just going to put him in the penalty box. 1:25 to go. 20-16. Toronto is up. Oshawa has the goalie pulled. So it's going to be a 6-on-4. And Jackson Brown's like, do you want me to go back in the net? They're like, no, stay in the hallway. We'll call you if we need you. Gilray down in the crease. This time they're watching him. McNulty up to St. John. Over to Atwood. Oshawa curiously calm about this when they need to get 4 goals in the last minute and change. There's one of them. They get excited when they need to. Alex Simons, dead overhand, buries that one. It's 20-17, 1:09 to play. Stranger things have happened. Jackson Brown is still in the hallway.
Now he just got tossed completely.
So Oshawa is staying with 6 runners on the floor. They've actually got 8 out there at the moment. They've got 7 now. Chris Veltman will go to the bench. John St. John was standing there. He'll stay on the floor. And the refs have to count 5 Toronto runners, as should be. And the refs trying to send an Oshawa runner off the floor, but no, they get to have 6. Their goalie is not out. 1:09 to play. 2017 Toronto. Bergsma pulls it back. Ethier gets it. He's worked so hard. If anyone, oh my goodness. It's going to be Pfeiffer with the empty netter putting back the rebound to ice the game and the scoring championship. Got to admit, I don't cheer, but I was pulling for Nathan Ethier because he has worked hard, had just a grinding, really successful game, but he bounced his shot off the crossbar. Pfeiffer puts it back. Now Jackson Brown's going to come in for the final 61 seconds. So, Whitby finishes first. They play us weekend next week, 5 p.m., March 23rd, here at Children's Arena in Oshawa. The Oshawa Outlaws are going to finish third. They will play the 6th place team to be decided tomorrow, either Peterborough or Six Nations. That will be at 1 p.m. here in Oshawa as well. Brampton Express finished second. They will be playing a home game against the 7th place team. Again, either Peterborough or Six Nations. That will be in Brampton. Friday night, I believe it's showing on the schedule. And then the other game is Toronto playing against Paris. We already knew that one was set. That's going to be, I believe, at the ILA next weekend as well. Go to the Arena Lacrosse League website. I believe it's arenalacrosseleague.ca. It just auto-populates when I type A in my browser, so you have to check that out. But Arena Lacrosse League website, check out all the details. Campbell Parker saying, come on, let's just go to the bench. Tosses it into the corner. The 30 expires. There's 21 seconds to play. And this game will eventually end. It has dragged for a while with so many goals, so many penalties, so many discussions. And a penalty coming as the stick rode up by Ethier as Blumberg was going to the net. Gilmore's shot Blumbergs tries to tap it home, and time will expire. The final score, Toronto 21, Oshawa 17. Remember, go to the Arena Lacrosse League website. You can go to JVI Sports Network Channel 3 for all the Arena Lacrosse League games, to watch them all posted there. And we will be back with quarterfinal action next week, March 22nd, 23rd, in the Arena Lacrosse League on JVI Sports Network. I'm Steven Samp. Thanks for being with us.